Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Planning moves, staying solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Making moves, staying solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. This how it is, the mission's Benjamins. And fuck the drama and the bullshit, we ain't little kids. My circle small, but my riders heart, they never quit. Get your money, keep it gangsta, solid, straight legit. Never switch like the real ones that die for this. It's fucked up, but this is truly how it is. I hope you're ready if you're picking this like full of sin. No turning back, I represent my vital to the end. Fuck the fakes and the snakes and everyone that hates. I'm not phased, I won't break, bitch, I'll never.
You are now watching M.O.D Entertainment.
What's good, G-Life? Now this right here is Southern California, Killer Cali. And today we're going to be covering, all the beach neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that reside around cities, with the beach title or near the beach. Anything that has the beach title, playeros, as they all refer to themselves, you know what I mean? Playeros obviously being, beachers, just translated in Spanish. And we have several of them, you know what I mean? So with no further ado, let's get started. So as we head on over to the city of Long Beach, the LBC, you already know Long Beach being very infamous for several neighborhoods and, for just the chaos and the madness within this area, not only with Hispanic gangs but with Cribs and all of that, you know what I mean. It definitely be going down right here, especially since the Hispanic gangs and the African American gangs seem to not have the best of relationships within these areas. And now Long Beach is most infamously known for the Longuero neighborhoods. Obviously Longuero being how they just say Long Beach, you know what I mean, the shortened Spanish version of it. It's not the only neighborhood within this area, because one neighborhood that does exist in this area that often gets forgotten and people don't really mention up as much is the barrio Long Beach. Yes, there is a barrio called Long Beach, which is called Playa Larga or Long Beach. You see it up either LB13 or you see it PL13. You see the PL more than the LB, which is just pretty much the translation in Spanish, Playa Larga, Long Beach. Now the Long Beach neighborhood is a neighborhood that has been well established right here on 11th Street. Not only 11th Street, but they were also on 21st Street. It's some of the clicas that you see written up by them. When you see it hit up, you see 21st Street, you see 11th Street. But not only that, but there is also 68th Street. But see, 68th Street used to be its own gang. So you had the 68th Streets, and then you had the Playa Larga. And as a matter of fact, these two neighborhoods tended to have beef. They used to have beef. But since these neighborhoods didn't get along with the Longueros, which are a much larger neighborhood, and these neighborhoods being a lot more smaller, because I was told that the Playa Larga, even with the combined man of the 68th Streeters, was only roughly about 55 to 60 members max. That's what the two neighborhoods together. So they put their differences aside and decided to to click up, to combat these other much larger neighborhoods, so that those two neighborhoods came together. So that's why you have the Playa Larga 68th Street, but there used to be two separate neighborhoods, but now they're just one whole united neighborhood. So now it's known as the Playa Larga 68th Street. And yeah, they continue to still be right there representing in Long Beach. You can still find them on 11th, on 21st, on 68th. You have several clicas for this barrio, and still continue to represent theirs. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chumps, they ain't no pushovers, homie. They will handle business. And even though you do hear more about the Longuero gangs, don't count these guys out for the count, homie, because they do be representing. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of these beach neighborhoods, because it is the barrio Long Beach. Because even though the Longueros are just known as the Longo, East Side Longo, North Side, West Side Longo, this one's actually Long Beach. You know what I mean? So that's the Playa Larga, still representing for theirs. Now, as we make our way down to the area of San Diego, you already know the SD definitely has several neighborhoods, within the county of San Diego. Large neighborhoods too, because these neighborhoods do get to be, awfully large. And one of them is a beach neighborhood, which you have the barrio BCH, which is the barrio Imperial Beach. Now Imperial Beach is already a well-known neighborhood right here in San Diego. Massive. You know what I mean? They do have a strong presence, because like I said, these barrios from San Diego tend to have a large presence with the neighborhood, because I was at least told that they're roughly a few hundred members to the Imperial Beach neighborhood. And like I said, don't ever get it twisted. People like to judge areas on based on how they look. Don't ever judge an area based on how it looks. You know what I mean? Because this neighborhood does get it on and cracking. These guys ain't no suckers. You know what I mean? And the Imperial Beach, has several clicas to their barrio. You know what I mean? You have the Rascals, you have the Dukes, you have the Locotes. You know what I mean? Probably the Dukes being the most infamous clica of theirs. And their neighborhood is you can find them close to 13th and Palm Avenue. You know what I mean? Is where you can find this barrio. Like I said, Imperial Beach, but you can find them spread out just throughout Imperial Beach. You know what I mean? There's a neighborhood that's well established, well recognized within this area. Been holding it down for theirs. Like I said, with several clicas, the several hundred members, they definitely hold it down for San Diego. These guys ain't no suckers. And yes, I know people be like, no, it's just Imperial because it's just IMP. But in reality, the whole neighborhood is with the beach part attached to it. It's just that you see it, shortened more and hit up more in a shorter sense. But it's part of the title of the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Since the beginning. And they continue to, like I said, still represent for theirs and holding it down right there in San Diego and putting theirs on the map. Now, as we make our way to Orange County, the OC, you already know the OC has several, dozen neighborhoods, well recognized neighborhoods, and this is home to one of these beach neighborhoods. Now, for this one, we actually have to make our way down to the area of Huntington Beach. To be exact, the south side of Huntington Beach. You know what I mean? Where we can find the SSHB 13. SSHB 13, translating to Barrio Southside Huntington Beach. Southside Huntington Beach is the largest gang within Huntington Beach. They are the biggest one, you know what I mean, the originals out of this area. And their territory is everything that's from Slattern, the Slattern slum territory, which is the neighborhood located on the corner of Warner and Newland. The Slattern slum territory is what is referred to. And there's other neighborhoods around the area, like the hoodlums and certain neighborhoods like that, that be located around the area that they tend to feud with, you know what I mean? And the gangs surrounding their area, and tag banging crews, because you do have tag banging crews around the area, that try to collide and go heads up. Now this neighborhood tends to give law enforcement a hard time. You know what I mean? They thrown everything at these guys as well, trying to slow them down. Because it'd be crazy right here. You know what I mean? Because you have the Amber Leaf Street. Then you have the Los Night Owls. You have the Midways. It just be cracking, homie. Around this area. But and then you do have like Asian neighborhoods as well. You get what I'm saying? But nonetheless, homie, the Southside Huntington Beach definitely be representing right here and holding it down for theirs. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. They've been right here holding it down for Huntington Beach and continue to do so. You know what I mean? Now, the color that they wear, is blue, you know what I mean? But they also wear black and white as their color. Obviously blue for the southern, but their neighborhood colors will be black and white. But they're still homeboys nonetheless. And like I said, the Huntington Beach neighborhood has already been right here roughly since the late 80s, early 90s when this neighborhood was established. And with roughly I was told 60 to 80 heads, roughly in the middle of somewhere around there. And they still be representing and holding it down for their barrio, you know what I mean? For the OC and that Southside Huntington Beach. Now, as we head on over to Northern California, you already know Northern Cali is home to one of these beach neighborhoods. And for this one, we actually have to make our way down to the area of Santa Cruz. Yes, Santa Cruz is home to one of these beach neighborhoods. And yes, in Northern California, they're upstate sureños, you know what I mean? Upstate homeboys, that been right here. One of, the more recognizable and larger neighborhoods within Santa Cruz, because you do have several upstate sureño neighborhoods around this location. Like you have the MSers, you have the Brown Prides, you have the Santa Cruz, and then you have the barrio Beach Flat Sureños, or Beach Flats, or Beach Flat Rifa. You know what I mean? So that's BF, BFR, or BFS. BFS is probably the most recognizable one, but either of those ones is also seen. Now the Beach Flat Sureños is their neighborhood is everything that's located within the Beach Flat neighborhood. You know what I mean? Where the park's at, the Beach Flat Park. Everything around that and the back streets, all of that is considered their territory. And obviously, this being Northern California, the Beach Flats is probably one of the more larger upstate homies within this area. Even though it is upstate California, so obviously the Northerners hold the strongest presence, because you do have barrios that they do go at it with, like the north side, Santa Cruz neighborhood. So there's tensions and feuds between obviously these hoods. But the upstate homies have already been right here since the 90s. And this neighborhood, at least from what I was told, is roughly more than 60 members to them. Which is a large amount of men for it being Northern California. And like I said, because you do have other homeboy neighborhoods within this area, from MS to the Brown Prize and everything like that, but this being like the largest one when it comes to upstate homies, you know what I'm saying? So they definitely be handling business right there for the Beach Flats, and still representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map, you know what I mean? Because these guys ain't no suckers. But that's what's up with the upstate homie, the Beach Flats Sureños.
Thank you for watching M.O.D Entertainment. Make sure you like and subscribe.